Hey everybody, and welcome to week 15 of class. Hey, this week we are going to complete our assessment of the American Civil War, and we are going to complete the year 1863. You might recall that last week we only got about halfway through that year. This week we're going to complete that year and go all the way up to 1865 and essentially conclude the war. The war will come to an end in April of 1865, April 9th. When ultimately Robert E. Lee will surrender the Army of Virginia and basically the Confederacy itself to Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. But before we get to that, we obviously have to complete the war. So we're going to be looking at a number of different conflicts this week. And there are some really important battles that occur in the second half of this series, especially in 1863. 1863 is a really climactic time where really the tide of the war, ultimately turns in favor of the Union. In 1863, you've got the Battle of Gettysburg, which devastates the Confederacy. You've got the Battle of Vicksburg, which ultimately allows for the Union to take possession of the Mississippi River and effectively to cut the Confederacy in half. During 1864, you've got some tragic and horrific battles at the Battle of Cold Harbor. You've got the Battle of the Wilderness, among others. And then eventually you get this sort of finalized campaign where you've got the overland campaign that Ulysses S. Grant will oversee, where basically he's chasing down Lee's army and pins him down at Petersburg and ultimately defeats him. At the same time, you've got William Tecumseh Sherman marching his way through Georgia, through South Carolina, and basically wreaking havoc in the South. So we're going to be doing a lot of military history this week, which is not typical of what we do here, but I think that many of these battles are really key, so we're going to be taking a look at them. Obviously, lots of other things too, but I don't want to give away everything here in this video because obviously we have other material for this week. So that's what we got coming this week. You've got chapter 15 in your textbook that you should be reading, but other than that, you should also be working on your final PowerPoint assignments and getting those things prepared to be turned in. I believe May 7th is the turn-in date for that, so make sure that you're prepared. So. All right, that's what I have for you this week. Other than that, if you have questions or comments, as always, contact me. I'll get back to you. Otherwise, as always, go in peace, be warm and filled. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper, and may the odds forever be in your favor. All right, guys, have a blessed week.